Well, quite extraordinary circumstances here in the Northern Territory. From an HRT 1-2 to what we think might be an HRT no-go. Craig Lowndes' new VT, it will not start and is in the garage. Now, pit lane has been closed, and Mark Scaife's car, after undergoing an engine change, is still, you can see Ron Harrop, Chief Engineer there, sitting there in the garage. And there's Mark Scaife. It is just not going anywhere. Now, for Holden fans, although we're advertising Dick Johnson's here, it's selling very well. Russell Ingall is now on the market, and the picture will come to you from Darwin's Hidden Valley circuit, one worth getting hold of. As we have a look at the grid for race 2, and these are the finishing positions. Now, Lowndes and Scaife are there, but you can take them out of the equation, because if they get going, they'll have to start from pit lane. So it's a Larkham-Longhurst front row, essentially.
Can you believe that? Paul Romano and John Faulkner there too. Jason Bright, Glenn Seaton, Alan Jones, Steve Ellery out of 12.
We go back, Ingall, Poole, Mazira and Johnson.
Larry Perkins, Darren Pate, Steve Reed and Greg Crick moving up the order in the Ericsson car.
As we have a look at the grid, cruise on back, 1 point to make mention there is Jason Bright has been pinged for belting Dick Johnson, and he will start rear of grid. Paul Wheel also had a problem trying to get his car fixed after a tyre blew out and he hit the wall.
That's belting me in the door, not in the face, by the way. Stephen Johnson, not here, of course. Here they're queuing up, and there is Jason Bright.
Well, he did so well to come back after he tangled with Russell Ingall, spun, and then worked his way back through the field exactly like Jason Bargwanna did. But the steward's ruling that it was an unfair move on Dick, and he was to be put to the rear of the grid. Here's a guy who didn't have such good luck. We are set to go.
Watch Russell Ingall, boy oh boy, will his eyes be on.
Ready, Larkham the inside, Longhurst the outside. Watch the lights, away we go! Larkham gets away to a good start, so too Longhurst and Bargwanna through the middle. Now someone's missed the start there, that's Jones. Alan Jones looks like he is pulled over to the side.
Jason Bargwanna looking down the inside of Larkham, who's covering his line. Jason Bargwanna into second spot.
That's an awesome start. We look back because Bargwanna started from 8th, so he's made up 6 positions off the start.
Now that'll be interesting to see if he did get away cleanly or did jump it. We're not quite sure, but what a great start. He's lying in second place right now.
Tony Longhurst fighting the position after a very strong run in Heat 1. He's found himself back in the pack there after an excellent leap off the grid down toward turn 1, but it's a tremendous battle up here. Can you believe how these fortunes have changed? Holden Racing Team stuck in the garage, and we've got a real battle on the hands with the Mitre 10 Ford up front.
I'll tell you who else got away to an awesome start was Mark Poole. There he is there. He's inside the top 10 battling with Ellery.
And Russell Ingall, can you believe that? He's in 5th position. He started out of 13th.
13th to 5th, Russell Ingall is going exceptionally well. Bargwanna, keep an eye on him, but I'm sure that Mitre 10 driver Mark Larkham is just pinching himself. He is leading race 2 here at Hidden Valley. Bow back in 3rd, then Ingall, Romano, Longhurst, Faulkner, Ellery, Poole, and it looked like Tander.
Get over the fence, boys. There's a cavalcade of horsepower coming through here, led by Mark Larkham in the Mitre 10 Ford.
He's got a good lead too on there. He's pulled out 1.1 seconds. Mark Larkham, what a great first lap. Looking really good.
Look at Russell Ingall on the attack in 4th position. And a real run on the inside. Oh, there might have been a little bit of contact there.
Oh, there was contact.
So Jason Bargwanna still hangs on to 2nd position. John Bale sits back there in 3rd. Bit of biffo here. Romano trying to challenge on the outside of Russell Ingall as they head up toward the valley once again.
Margaret's going to butt in there. I think Jason Bargwanna seems to have maybe a bit of a problem. John Bale gets very wide.
Ingall through the inside. Ingall's got John Bow. Excellent work as they head up into the hairpin. So Russell Ingall is now in 3rd. He has made up 10 positions from 13th to 3rd, and we are only on lap 2 of 17.
The enforcer. Is this guy a fighter or what? He knows Holden Racing Team sitting there in the garage. This is his chance to close that gap to Lowndes. What a fight.
I was just talking to one of his mechanics, and he said, well, Lee, that's basically our championship. That's over with us finishing 13th and Lowndes to win. It's not over till it's over, and Russell Ingall could very well get 40 points from this one.
He's the king of starters, that boy. He really knows how to do it off the start line. There's no one better.
Look at those eyes. Boy, they're on fire. This man knows this is a great opportunity for him. Driving the new VT Commodore. He's had some trouble sending the new car up, getting the most speed out of it. He really wanted to run his older VS model this weekend, but boy, it's fallen in his lap. Can you believe it?
Mark Larkham pulling the gap out to 2.1 seconds this time, so he's put out a second on Jason Bargwanna, really storming at the front.
How about the Mitre 10 Ford team? They would just be so happy at the moment because Larkham picked up his best ever touring car race result in race number 1 with 3rd. If he wins, that would be a landmark victory for him.
Paul Romano there sitting up, well up in that top 5. So it's Larkham, Bargwanna, Ingall, Bow, Romano, Longhurst in the 6th position. Faulkner in 7th. Stephen Ellery fighting back in 8th. Mark Bull from South Australia in 9th. And Garth Tander in the 2nd of the Valvoline Commodores. He's in 10th position.
Jason Bright from the back of the grid up to 13th. So Russell Ingall starting from 13th and making all those positions. But Jason Bright moving through extremely quickly. He'll be keen to get back in that top 10.
Tony Longhurst had a big grin on his face after race 1. Saw him in the pit garage. He said, oh, we won't get too carried away just yet. But he was very pleased with his 4th in race 1, and here he is right in the thick of it. So too John Faulkner, the better electrical Fisher and Paykel Commodore, as they come on to the main straight once again. The big drag. Here we go. It's Larkham who still leads the way. Then we go back to Bargwanna. Bow sitting in there. Ingall's in there as well. This is great stuff. There's the gap. Look at it as they head into turn 1. They start to string out.
Larkham is just on a 1:11.05, and Bargwanna in pursuit of 1:10.88, so it's very tight at the front. John Faulkner forecasting a lot of Bifford barge this weekend, and so far it's proven. Can you believe the drama down at the Mobil 1 Holden Racing Team pit garage? Both cars sitting in there, not starting for Heat 2. You could not have written a better script.
I'll tell you who's done a tremendous job also is Garth Tander in the Gary Rogers Valvoline Commodore. He's come from 22nd to 9th. He's sitting just behind this battle there. There he is, just flashed through the screen. So Tander's on a hot one at the moment as well.
Russell Ingall trying to close the gap to Bargwanna at the front of this bunch. Larkham has opened it up 2 seconds over Bargwanna, but Ingall breathing right down his neck.
This is your order. Larkham, Bargwanna, Ingall, Bow, Romano inside the top 5. Some battle damage there on the side of Faulkner's car. Then we go back to Longhurst. Faulkner in 7th. This is the battle we're watching at the moment. Ellery, Tander, Seaton. Then we go to Perkins. Is just outside the top 10 in 11th. Poole is 13th. Bright is sandwiched in between those guys.
The gap's really come down this time too between Larkham and Bargwanna. Bargwanna's closed in about 7/10 of a second. That gap now back down to 1.3 seconds. So Bargwanna and Ingall making a bit of inroads here on Larkham's time.
Here we go here. Jason Bright, who's come from the back of the pack to 11th, 35th to 11th spot. What an effort. Just on the back of Larry Perkins, and we work our way forward to Glenn Seaton. There's a long way back there behind Bright. We pick up Dick Johnson. The battle outside of the top 10. This is 11, 12, 13.
Jason Bright having a look there. Larry just covering his line. He saw him coming in there. Moved over the left as Larry gives Glenn a bit of a hurry up, a bit of tap up the bum and trying to get him out of the way. As Brighty looks at the back of the Castrol Commodore, but he'll be really keen to make a move. But obviously he's got that exclusion in the back of his mind. He won't want to be making another mistake either.
Well, they always thought there'd be plenty of fisticuffs and tears here. Been working the Clark, of course, and the Stewards overtime already in Heat 1, Heat 2, just as active. Russell Ingall there fighting for his championship life. If he can win this race, and Lowndes scores no points, it'll be 40 points he'll make up on Lowndes. That's really going to close the championship.
Here goes Bright. Here down the inside. Larry's moved right over. Bright's got the inside running. He'll make the move on Larry this time. Moves over.
Jason Bright coming in back with the front of Larry Perkins' car. They come into turn 1. Larry backs off just a little bit, but Bright on another big charge. So he moves up into 11th position now, starting from rear of grid.
That could have been a big accident there if Larry hadn't backed off or moved over, because Jason Bright got tapped in the rear. He's made another spot, up to 10th spot this time. So his next victim looks like Glenn Seaton.
Well, that gap has gone. You heard Marcos say it, from some 2 odd seconds down to 1.5 seconds, down to now 0.6 of a second. I'm talking about the gap between Mark Larkham and Jason Bargwanna up the front of the pack. Here comes Bargs.
Yeah, he's been training pretty hard. He was ready for these hot weather conditions. There he is. They just about had to pour this guy out of the car at Lakeside. He was suffering so much in the hot conditions. He's been going away and doing a lot of hot weather training to make sure he was ready for this weekend. He's brilliant here, fast, consistent laps as he hunts down the Mitre 10 Ford. He's on the outside. Ingall there trying to hook onto the draft of the Valvoline Commodore as they break hard for turn 1.
All right, place your bets, you guys.
I got my money.
Is he going to be the enforcer?
I got my money on the enforcer. He's going like a train.
Well, this is it. They're starting to bridge that gap. This is on board with Russell Ingall. Pictures via Sid Front Proto in-car camera. We're looking at Bargwanna. Then one car further ahead is your race leader, Mark Larkham, in the Mitre 10 Ford.
Well, the Dunlop boys thought they'd be struggling here, gone for their hardest compound, but boy, it's proving very quick on this new car. What a great combination, the new VT Commodore, driven by Russell Ingall. hardest Dunlop tyre they can get, and he's right up behind these two Bridgestone runners and giving them plenty of courage.
You can see the differences between the cars in some of the corners, how Russell closes up in some areas and then Jason pulls away. Obviously that's got a lot to do with the tyres, the setup of the car, but Russell can see the gap now and move right back, but under brakes he makes up a lot of that ground.
Russell Ingall saying that it's been a real education learning to drive this VT, because any moves that you made, any changes you made to the VS Commodore, just do not work on the VT, and I'm sure that you know all about that, Murph, from Corba.
Exactly. Now we've got Russell right behind, but I don't think the VT has the speed yet down the straight, and Bargwanna holding him up, but he's right behind, he closes up, under brakes to the outside. Bargwanna right down the inside to cover the line. And on the side, he's underneath him. What a great move that was.
Well, excellent. That was the intimidation, wasn't it? He was right up behind him. You could see Jason Bargwanna moved across to cover his territory, maybe a little bit deep under brakes.
Definitely went a bit deep under brakes and just went past the apex of the corner. Barg's having a look at him coming back. Now Mark Larkham's going to have the pressure on him from the enforcer now in a lap or so.
Now keep in mind,
Bargwanna having a look up the inside.
Keep in mind too, if Ingall can win this race, that'll put him on pole position for Heat 3. If Lowndes can get going, he'll have to start off the back of the grid. This is fascinating stuff.
Well, have a look at this. Bargwanna riding all over the back of Russell Ingall. Now Russell Ingall's going to try and forget about him and focus on our race leader, Mark Larkham. There's your privateers update. Steve Reed, who leads the way, and incidentally, he finished our top privateer in race 1 as well. Well, Russell Ingall is just one spot away from 40 points as he comes right up on Larkham now.
Look
if he can get the draft, as he comes onto this 1.1 kilometre main straight, the enforcer has come from 13th position on the grid. He could be going one better and lead.
Now look at Larkham moving right over to the left to block that line. Russell Ingall, the Falcon, just a little bit extra power under brakes and holds it. We'll see if he makes the same mistake as Jason Bargwanna. No, the Falcon sits on the line. Larkham doing a great job. The enforcer is punishing today.
Well, if he's going to wear him, grind him down, he's got plenty of time to do it. Only lap 9 of 17, he can set up this position. He doesn't want to make the same mistake he made.
There he goes.
Here he comes up the inside. He's got him too. Russell Ingall, can you believe this? From 13th position on the grid through to lead Heat 2, while Craig Lowndes, his main adversary and title leader, is sitting in the garage. This championship is on fire.
Well, he's far from over, isn't it?
He lined that up from a long way back. He knew exactly where he was going to go in and get the move. How often have we seen Russell Ingall do this?
This man is just awesome, isn't he? When the chips are down, we really thought his championship was over. There's a great carve up here between Bargwanna and the Mitre 10 Ford. He'll try and hang on the inside as they head down toward this corner onto the straight.
Someone's gone into the wall at the back there. As we have a look at Bow, comes up into the action as well. Well, people said this track reminded them a little bit of Winton in terms of the tightness of the curve. We had our best racing from Winton this year, and how about it here in the NT? It's really turning it on. This is the battle for the top 5, top 4. Ingall's now your new race leader and has in fact pulled out on Larkham, who's being hassled by Bargwanna. And here comes JB up the inside. Bargwanna looks at Larkham. This is great stuff.
Well, Larkham really got held up on that lap. He just did a 1:13. Ingall a 1:11.3. He's trying to bolt away and build himself a cushion. Bye-bye, Russell. There's a really good battle here for 2nd, 3rd and 4th position. Larkham fighting for his life here.
Mitre 10 Falcon really doesn't look to be too happy at the moment. He seems to be struggling with a bit of car speed, corner speed especially. And you can see Russell's just bolted away, about 2 seconds in the lead at the moment. Bargwanna all over the back of the Mitre 10 car now as JB's come up to put the pressure on Bargwanna.
Lap 10 of 17 as Bargwanna almost gives Larkham a bit of a nudge. So we've got plenty of time to go. Talking for Bargwanna, that is, but he's going to have to watch out for John Bow. This is just awesome action from Darwin. There's your leaderboard. Ingall, Larkham, Bargwanna, Bow and Romano. The championship is far from over. You're watching race 2, round 9 of the V8 Supercar Championship, and have a look at this. John Bow in the Shell Helix Ford. He's giving him a bit of a touch. Bargwanna, that is. This is the battle for 3rd spot. Bargwanna in the Valvoline Cummins Commodores right in the thick of it. A moment ago he was challenging Larkham. Now he's fighting off the challenge from John Bow.
And look, that's given Mark Larkham just a little bit of a breather, so that's helping him out a lot. John Bow really pushing hard. Looked down the inside into turn 1. Couldn't quite pull it off this time, but the Dunlop car going very good at this stage.
Well, it really is the valley of the V8s, isn't it? Unbelievable debut performance from the V8 Supercars in the top end. They're really turning it on for the fans here. Enormous crowd in here. Thronging, lining the sides of the circuit. 3 or 4 outdoor bars set up here. Live bands, you can see the amount of crowd. Just tremendous atmosphere at the valley. And let's look at that on the replay. Shell Helix replay.
And Bright. Oh, that's a big crash coming onto the front straight too. Oh, he's... Oh, John Faulkner. It looks like he got a bit of a tap, a bit of a help there from someone too. So interesting to see if we get a replay.
Well, there's another driver involved in that as well, because Garth Tanner was there. Now, the word we have is that the safety car is out on the circuit. Can you believe the succession of circumstances? This is unbelievable.
Well, safety car out on the circuit now, so that's going to bunch the field up.
So we have a full course yellow here, and the safety car will come out and lead these guys around. Jason Bright was involved in that too, so we'll see. It'll be interesting to see if he's continued on.
What an incredible situation.
They wind their way around on lap 12 of 17, but we're going to see things slow down as they are right now. The safety car is out on the circuit. I don't know if these guys actually know yet or not. So we head on around. Russell Ingall was just clearing out 2.82 seconds. Can you believe it? Almost 3 seconds. There's Mark One on the inside. So these guys definitely don't know the safety car's out on the circuit as they continue on, and we've seen no sign of it. That was just word through from race control. Yes, we can see out of our commentary box. It is over on the back side of the circuit, opposite to where the guys are now.
There's the yellow flags. Maybe the yellow flags went out until that car got to that point.
No, they definitely were. So Jason Barguano has actually passed under the yellow flag, I would say.
Gee. That's why Larkham opened the door and let him through. He's going to be punished for that.
Well, it's looking like a golden day for Mark Larkham, isn't it? Third and a second if he can remain where he is. He's looking very good for a podium finish. But how about Russell Ingall? How about HRT? The Mobil 1 boys sitting in their garages, both with their own separate problems. So we have a look at Barguana now.
He just had his hand out the window, which he may have just waved Larkham back past. We'll have to wait and see when we go outside. But
well, Ingall will be a little bit steamed about this. He forced his way through to the front. He was building up a bit of a cushion there. He got it out to 4 seconds before that safety car came out, so now he's got to do it all again.
Oh, he's got the eyes on. I don't think there's going to be any problem.
Yeah, there's no chance of anyone catching him today.
That was an awesome display, wasn't it?
I just, to get back to a point we were talking about earlier, I just have a bit of a giggle to myself because I was talking to one of his mechanics, a young guy, Oscar, and he said, no, he said, look, it's not all right what happened in that first race. He said, our championship is over. Obviously very disappointed with Russell's 13th spot. Just look at how things have turned around.
Well, if Russell finishes where he is right now, the gap's going to be back to 20 points. There's the two HRT guys. Not looking too despondent, but at this stage.
Craig's a bit blown away by all this. He's sitting in the car ready to go out of the garage.
It'll be
fire.
Disbelief on his part, I'm sure.
Well, coming into this race with the result of the last one, the gap between Ingall and Lowndes was some 60 points. So we're going to be back to a gap of 20 if Russell can win this race. We've seen throughout the championship that Ingall turned around a 40-point lead on Lowndes several rounds ago, so it's very achievable. And as we said before the break, this championship is far from over.
Okay, safety car. Whoa! Safety car was waiting to pick up the leader, I think. Russell Ingall's come through with his flashing his lights on.
Well, hold on a second. Russell Ingall's just passed the safety car.
Yeah, but a lot of the rest of the field came through.
Yeah, but they were all. They've got to pick up the safety cars to pick up the leader.
Well, that's right. That's what I thought they were slowing down for.
Therefore, Russell's just passed the safety car. I'm not quite sure what's going on here.
I have seen a situation before at Bathurst there. Our safety car just went past, so now Russell is back in his right position.
He's trying to tell him to get go.
Yeah. No, I saw that at Bathurst a few years ago. I think Mark Scaife went past the safety car, not realising that what the condition was. He just was called back. He dropped back into line, and there was no penalty applied. So I don't think that was.
He was flashing his lights. I think he was trying to get them to go a bit quicker or something, maybe. I'm not quite sure. But these cars obviously running very slow. They've got to try and keep some heat in those tyres also, which is important.
This is the reason why the safety car's out on the circuit. John Faulkner coming to grief, coming on to the pit straight, doing a lot of damage to the better electrical Commodore. It's ironic, because John was saying yesterday, this is a circuit that's guaranteed to have a bit of panel damage, a bit of carnage, and he's been on the receiving end of it.
Did so well in race 1, 2, from 11th to 6th. Was having a great run, and he was going extremely well too in the top 10 in this one. And crunch time.
Russell Ingall, you can see how pumped up he is. Come on, get a move on. He wants to win this motor race.
This race could actually end finish under a yellow flag, which would be really strange.
Now, as we have a look there, that's Stephen Ellery's car. I thought I saw that earlier on. Don't forget about the big end of the year with the Australian 1000 Classic at Bathurst. Pick up your tickets from Ticketmaster 136122. And that's hard luck for Ellery, because he was having a great day also. Spun in race 1 and obviously has gone straight off into the wall. Now don't forget too, It's before the Australia 1000 Classic is, of course, the Gold Coast Indy. It's always a great time on the Gold Coast. Different outlet, though, this time, not Ticketmaster, Ticket Tech, 1300 303 103. It's a spot where you can get those tickets from. John Bowe, isn't he going well in race 2? Sitting right there, he's been having a tremendous battle with Jason Bargwanna, trying to suck him in on the first turn. Tried an inside line a couple of times, has been unsuccessful. We have just 3 laps left to run in this race. Could we finish, as Greg Murphy said, under safety car conditions? I'm sure Russell Ingall won't mind just sitting where he is and just wasting time and chewing up laps.
Yeah, keep in mind too, win this race, they'll put him on pole position for Heat 3. Lowndes, if they get that car going, start off the rear of the grid. It's going to be a fascinating final heat.
Well, Craig Lowndes has had an unbelievable success rate and has been so consistent this year. In fact, better. There's Alan Jones, of course. He had trouble off the line. Talking to one of the guys from Tony Longhurst Racing. Lowndes' consistency record and success rate has actually been better than the championship winning year in 1996 until today. He's only failed to finish one race, and that was race 3 at Winton. He didn't even start this one, so they try to take Faulkner's car away.
As the conditions are now, I mean, Russell Ingall starting from pole for the 3rd race. He's a near dead set. Well, look at the damage to that car. Dead set winner. The conditions are suiting him perfectly, and the car looks to be just unbeatable at this stage.
Just think about the points gap too. If he can close that down as 40 points for a win, with Lowndes not scoring anything, that closes it right up.
She's going to go down to the wire at Oran Park. You can guarantee that right now.
Well, it's 2 years in a row, isn't it? We had 3 going for the championship last year at Oran Park. It's going to be a tight one again this year as this strong field of in excess of 30 cars wind their way around the circuit. Tony Longhurst in the Castrol Ford's been having a great day.
Lights are off,
on the pace car, yep. So they're going to go green for 2 laps.
Well, looks like they're going to leave Ellery's car nailed into the wall there. Was there under racing conditions? They don't consider that too much of a safety hazard at this stage. The pace car peels off and away we go. Russell Ingall's going to lead the charge down to turn 1. We've got 2 laps remaining and he has got the lights and the eyes on.
Have a look at Romano and Bowe. Romano tucked right in behind John Bowe, looking for a way past to snatch that 4th spot. Russell Ingall, Bargwanna looking for an inside option, but he's about 3 car lengths behind going into turn 1. This is a quick sprint. It's a 2-lapper to home. The checkered flag will be out, and Russell Ingall hang on to the lead and gather 40 points.
Bargwanna in 2nd position. Larkham now might attend Ford in 3rd. John Bowe in 4th as they break hard. Swing right up this hill, what they call the valley section. It's very tight hairpin. This car's dropped down to about 60 kilometres an hour here. Very, very slow and tight, but it always produces close racing. Look at Russell Ingall. He's got the Valvoline Commodore right up behind him. Let's see if he can build that cushion again over these remaining 2 laps.
Well, Bargwanna, have a look at this battle back here. Tander's in this one. Longhurst, also Jason Bright trying to go around the outside. Oh, contact there. Bright coming into the back, right-hand side of Garth Tander. It's just Biffo Central here in Hidden Valley.
Well, he's
Jumped off the ground.
Incredible contact there. That may have bent his steering pretty badly. That was quite a contact. But he finds himself right back in the pack now behind Tander. After such a brilliant start to today, taking his first pole position yesterday, he won't believe it. Look at him
trying to push Bright into the wall almost. He's all over the track. And it looks like Bright went down the outside. 1 lap to go.
This is it. We're on our way home, and Russell Ingall looks pretty comfy. Bargwanna's not giving in, mind you, 1 bit at all. These 2 guys have pulled out on the rest. Look at that. Quite a handy lead all the way back to Mark Larkham, who is just hanging on by his fingernails for a podium finish in this race.
Jason Bright did get past Garth Tander on the outside down the straight going into turn 1, so he's made up another spot.
Well, can you believe that shuffle? Ingall, Bargwanna, Larkham, Bowe, Romano, Longhurst up there in 6th. Competitive day for him. Tander, Bright, Perkins and Seaton. Of course, Tander and Bright just swap positions then.
Well, for the Territorians up here in Darwin who had never seen V8 supercar racing, they are seeing one of the best days that we've seen. Such tight, close racing as now Bright pushes up on Paul Romano. We go back, look at the battle for the lead. Bargwanna on the inside of Russell Ingall, trying to deny him a win as we go up on board with Russell Ingall. This is the run to home coming into the main straight. Ingall should be able to hang on. It's the run to the line. Bargwanna won't have enough. Russell Ingall from 13th to 1st. He takes the win and puts himself right back into contention for this championship. The gap is back to 20 points. Awesome stuff. Just incredible.
What a
Couldn't
finish.
believe it.
That is unbelievable. Bargwanna having a go at him on the last lap and nearly pulled it off. Mark Larkham home third, another good result for him. But wow, what a finish at the front of the field.
What a colossal battle. Well, they're still going, so there's been something with our lap count. Apologies there, because the information we were getting is that they've extended it. Well, word just through from race control, it's been extended. So, it's not over by a long shot.
Oh,
yet.
John Bower sideways and knocked Larkham around.
Oh, wow.
Turn Mark Larkham around. Oh, it's definitely not over yet.
I can't believe the amount of pedal damage you've got here. It just keeps coming and coming and coming. The V8 Supercars turning it on in the territory. And Russell Ingall now really feeling the pressure from our Calder Heat 2 winner.
He hasn't been able to pull away from Jason, so this is just all on. It's going to go right down.
Well, that is amazing. I mean, he was able to build that cushion in the early part of Heat 2. Now Bargwanna's staying right with him.
The safety car laps obviously haven't been counted. We've been counting them. They weren't counted, which is bizarre because they usually do.
They normally do count safety car.
Have a look at this. This battle is far from over. Bargwanna on the inside. He's not giving up, this little terrier. A 26-year-old who picked up his first win at Calder in the last round, trying to get past Ingall, but he couldn't get through that time, and he's in fact lost ground as they come through on Darcy Russell. Bright's gone. This is a replay.
Tander's turned Bright round and gone through the sign.
Goodness me, isn't he in the wars?
I can tell you what, the stewards are going to be very, very busy today.
Let's have a look at this now. John Bower contacting the back of the mitre 10 forward.
Well, there's a stop-go penalty if I've ever seen one.
Wow.
So, just drama upon drama. I can't believe what has happened in the last hour.
Poor old Mark Larkham, just as we said, he just had another good result. It's not finished yet.
Yeah. So we rejoin our two at the front. This is Russell Ingall. On his way, we get all wound up again for the finish. He's now got a more comfortable lead over Jason Bargwanna, who was just driving the wheels off the Gary Rogers Valvoline Cummins Commodore. He's done an exceptional job. He started fourth in race one, had some trouble in turn one, ended up finishing eighth. He got a brilliant start and went from eighth to second in the first turn. Has been there ever since, battling with Mark Larkham, battling with Russell Ingall, and also John Bower.
Well, that's where he found it, a 1:11.05 for Ingall that time around. Bargwanna, a 1:11.35. He's pumped it out, was just half a second coming across the timing on it at that time. Ingall trying to break the back of the Valvoline Challenge. We understand there is one more lap to go. 20 laps for this race distance. There has been a real mix-up with that safety car out there and all sorts of things going on, but this is the final lap.
How about who's sitting in third spot now? Tony Longhurst. It's a great day for him. Just gone through screen, and Garth Tander is up into fourth.
Yeah, look at the panel damage on the front of that car. He's been in contact with a fair few people this morning, or this afternoon.
Well, have a look at the panel damage on nearly every car.
Yeah, that's a good point.
This is a fantastic day for Gary Rogers Motorsport, the Valvoline Cummins team. He's got his two boys, two young guns, running second and fourth. What a great result for them after the tremendous highs at Calder.
Oh, this is it. We are on our way home. Well, for the second time, we should say.
I've never seen a thing in a race like this. This is unbelievable. But it looks like Russell Ingall's going to bring it home. There he is, lights ablaze. Jason Bargwanna right behind him, but he's not going to catch him.
Well, excellent stuff. The hand out the window, and Russell Ingall, we can say now, does take that 40 points. I'm sure he can't believe what's happened. Look at him just saying to himself, yes, yes, I've done it, you beauty.
And the championship is well alive. It's far from over, I think.
Tony Longhurst, congratulations to him, picking up third spot. That's his best result in a long, long time. Excellent stuff. Garth Tander picking up fourth. There's his teammate Jason Bargwanna. The two Valvoline kids, they've done exceptionally well.
He's a very happy boy, Russell Ingall, number one. He knows he's well in there with a chance for the roundup.
Exceptional circumstances here in the territory. Russell Ingall in for the win from Bargwanna. Tony Longhurst, a great third spot from Tander, and Paul Romano, his second top five finish in a row. Seaton, Bower, Perkins, Dick Johnson, and Mark Poole rounding out the top 10. We'll be back right after this.